All right, so we're gonna make a little video of our log cabin here. We have Dad and we have Hunter, CB Outdoors and More. Mama's at work today, sadly. So yeah, we're here at the site of our log cabin in this closed location. I'm just gonna give you guys a kind of a quick tour of the cabin and a basic rundown of how we built it so far. So this method of log cabin is called a butt and pass method. Instead of the traditional method, saddle notch it's called, where you would chop out a portion of the log to sit the one on top of it neatly in the saddle. This one is a lot more simple and a lot faster. Basically what it means is you just kind of stack the logs on top of each other and you get two long ones that kind of hang over the edge like you see on the top one there, and then you take another one and you basically just cut it to length to fit perfectly in the middle. It's been a while since we were out here, so these logs have dried up a little bit and it's kind of separated. You can see the gaps there that we'll have to fill, and that's the process we'll use for that is called chinking, where you take a lot of moss or clay or dirt and you just kind of stuff it in the holes to make that airtight seal. I'm just having some fun. We haven't been here in a while. It's very grown in here. We haven't been here since the spring, so lots of new greens coming up. Basically, so the way the method works is we chop down a tree and then I shave it. I'll show you the tools I use in a minute. Shave all the bark off, and the reason for that is that you'll get a lot longer out of your wood before it rots. So if I was to do to not shave them, it would last for about 15, 20 years before they start to rot. But by shaving them, you can get up to 60 or 50 years with them. So definitely a lot more life out of it if you shave it. It's a lot more work, but definitely worth it. Okay, so these are all the tools I've used the whole time building this log cabin. They're all hand tools, no power, gas tools. The only thing I will need power tools for is to cut out the doors and windows, a chainsaw, but that's still a bit off. So starting from the left, have the Silky Big Boy folding saw. I can't give a more positive review on this saw. It's amazing. It's light. It has hardened teeth, so you'll never really have to sharpen it. It makes very short work of any log size that I need out here to build the log cabin. Very good lock. It's just an awesome tool. Bright orange handle so you don't lose it. Really good piece of gear. We have just a run-of-the-mill hatchet. This one isn't mine. I borrowed this one, but same thing. And what I use that for is basically when I stack the logs on top of each other, they're not perfectly straight. So you use that to kind of level the one underneath it so it sits on top of the one nice and snug, and you'll have to do less work when you're filling in the gaps. Just a pair of work gloves, protect your hands, very important. Lots of paracord. Use that again and again for many different reasons. So the traditional method, the saddle notch I was describing earlier, where you cut out the hole and then you set the log on top of that, you don't need any other hardware to put it together. It's just the weight of it sitting on top. But this way, where it's a lot faster construction with the button pass method, you have to get something to hold them together. So that's what I use the 12-foot spikes for. And I started with, I think, 8-inch, and they weren't quite long enough. So then I went to 12, and that's what I've been using ever since. My Nova Scotia made Groman survival knife number 4. Classic knife, basically Canada's answer to a buck knife. Amazing knife, one of the best there is. Maul hammer for banging in all the spikes. I tried it with a framing hammer, but it took a lot more swings than I would like. So that's why the maul hammer. And then over here we have the draw knife. I use a curved one. A lot of people use a straight one. No reason why I use a curved one. It just was on Amazon. It was pretty cheap, so that's what I used. And of course a sharpening file to sharpen them all, whether it be the hatchet or the draw knife. Pretty self-explanatory there. And of course a measuring tape to measure the trees. That's pretty much it. Very simple tools. I hiked it all in on a backpack. All fits into one, so don't have a whole bunch of big heavy equipment to lug around. Just about as simple as it gets for tools. So this log up here It's actually one that I cut down, shaved, and got ready last time we were out here. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any spikes with me on that trip. I forgot them, so it's just been kind of sitting over the top since the spring. So I'm gonna go ahead and pound that in for you guys. Also, as you can see here, I do have a level top here, so the next one will be a pass log, which means it goes over the edge here and kind of hangs over like the one underneath. Now the problem is with where I'm using poplar and birch and elm trees, they're not very cylindrical in shape, so I have to do a lot of shaving and trimming to keep it level, which can be pretty labor intensive, but yeah, it's a lot easier than the saddle notch method. Nice. I think that's one that we found when we did the when we were metal detecting. What? I think that's one that we found when we were metal detecting. Now for the base of the cabin, it's just rocks, as you can see, that I found in the woods. They were really heavy and really hard to drag through the woods to put down on the cabin. You can see the other one over here. Even harder to level. That was a little tricky, but we got it done. Now, one more thing that's very important for leveling is the way you lay your logs. So what I mean by that is, as you can see for this one, this is the thick end of the log, so the base of the tree, and then up here is the top. So when you're putting your next log on top of that, you want to make sure you alternate the thick side and the skinny side. So my next one on top is going to have the skinny side on this end and the thick end over here. I mean, that just helps it stay more level overall, because if you put all the bases on one side, your wall would be like this. Yeah. And as you can see, this fit is not too bad, but it's not the most level. So basically what you do is where it touches spots like this, I'll take my hatchet and I'll kind of hack it horizontally to make it sit lower on that log and close all these gaps here you see. So then once you level it and it sits nice, it doesn't wiggle around too much, you just go on the end and make sure that it's square with your corners, that all the edges are in line with each other, and then you put a spike in. So one of the things with these spikes are, if you put them in and they go the wrong way, there's no getting them out. That's where they live now. So you really want to line it up right to make sure you have it in the right spot. And I've only been putting 2 on the end and avoiding the middle at all because I don't know where I want my windows and doors yet. And I don't want to hit them with the chainsaw, so I've only been doing the edges. And then once it's done, I can reinforce after. Another thing with these spikes is that when they start to come through in the bottom, when you're almost all the way through the log on top, you want to really make sure that you're lined up, because it's going to move a lot over the course of hammering it in. And so when it's just about poking through and about to tack into the one underneath, you want to make sure that it's all lined up again. And once my spike is all the way in, I'm going to take the maul hammer from the flat side to the rounded side. I'm going to drive it in even a little deeper so it really holds. So this tree here is going to be our next victim. It's pretty straight enough for what we need it for. None of them are really straight here, but it's going to have to do. And the reason I chose this one is because it's pretty long, so that means we'll be able to get 2 logs out of it.
So this is our stick fort. It's the only fully built shelter right now.
You're right.
As you can see, it's very viney.
Show us around.
we started from not knowing what we would make. Just one stick and it turned into this. It's balanced by that big tree that's shaking right now.
Oh, you're cleared away in there? Nice. Is this the doorway?
Yep.
Nice. It looks cool in here. What are you sitting on there?
Yuck.
Nice log for sitting. Oh yeah, let's see that. What is it?
Bone.
Big bone. We're not sure what it's from though, eh?
No.
Nice. Really cool in here.
Could be a pig. Could be a coyote.
Alright, let's show them the trios.
Okay.
Okay, nice. So is it finished?
Nope.
No, we still do some work on it. A nice ladder. And a platform. Not quite finished yet. Still got some work to do on that. Pretty freaking cool though. So one of the really difficult things about cutting down trees in dense woods is that when you do cut it, it gets cut up. Which essentially means you then have to lift it up by the base and walk a direction with it until it falls down. Pretty dangerous, so make sure you're being careful and make sure you know where the little guy is. But yeah, it's basically a bunch of really hard work.
Guys, I'll get this sick wooden knife.
Let's
And
see.
it goes good too.
Oh, nice. Turn it around. How'd you make it?
I put the knife in and smushed it in with the hatchet.
Mm-hmm.
And I put this in.
Nice. It looks
and
awesome.
It flays really good.
Oh, nice. That's sharp.
Hi. We're gonna make some yarn.
Oh, there goes my spoon.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
Is it good?
Super good. It's better than good. It's amazing.
Did you pass me my spoon there?
You mean this that I stepped on 15 times?
Yeah. That's the one.
Actually. Oh guys.
Thanks, bud.
It adds a little bit more flavor anyway.
You're absolutely right.
Is it good?
It is good. So that leveling that I was talking about, I kind of messed up. So this log here, as you can see, should be level with this one, and it is not. So then if I were to put another one on top of that, it'll be much too high. And then you have to compensate with the one going this way, which there's not that many trees that are straight around here, so I really have to work with what I got. So basically I have a lot of work of leveling ahead of me to take the hatchet and chop off the top portion of this log here. Uh-oh.
What is it?
Oh, I thought I was going to take it out.
Hey guys, want to see timber? Hang on. That is so close. Give me a sec, guys. Timber!
Awesome. So the measurements for the pass log aren't that important because, as you can see, they stick out on the end there. I always try to keep it 2 feet longer than the cabin, so it's a 10 by 10 cabin. So I usually do 12 feet for the pass. And the reason for that is you actually want that hangover on the end, because once it's high enough that you have to kind of, the logs are too heavy to lift up on top, you have to walk it up the edge like stairs, put it up on one side, go around, and then put it up on the other. So you actually want a bit of overhang to work with. So again, the length of the pass log isn't that important as long as you're around 12 feet or so. Okay, so one of the difficult things for me out here, usually by myself or just with Mr. Hunter Man, is hauling the logs through the woods. They're pretty heavy, probably around 100 pounds, which is a lot for one person who's not in the best physical shape. So it's pretty hard to get them from wherever I cut them at to the cabin. This one, well as many others, pretty lucky where I didn't have to haul them very far. But now as the cabin gets bigger, I'm having to go farther and farther away from the cabin to get the logs. So I was kind of doing some research on how to haul trees through the woods by yourself. When I found this YouTube video, I don't remember the account, but that guy saved me a lot of efforts. So basically the way it works is I have a hauling stick here. It was live when I cut it. It's dead and dry now, but it was live. So it has some bend to it. And then you're just gonna cut the edge of it to a bit of a point so you can stick it in the ground. And you have a loop on one end that you put through it. And then you're going to take the other end of your rope, your tag end, and tie a timber hitch and a half hitch around the log. And then what you do is you pull the pull stick so the line is tight, and you put it in the ground, and then you pull it like a lever, and that hauls your log for you. So I'll give you guys a bit of a demo on how that works. Okay, so we're going to start with our clove hitch. We're going to go all the way around the log. Take it, I'm going to make an X, and back under again. And then all you're going to do, once you get some more slack, is go through that X. And that's clove hitch. It works by tension, so you don't have to worry about it coming loose. I always like to do a few loops around it just to be sure. And then on the end, you're going to do a half hitch or a timber hitch. This one's really simple. You're just gonna hold it in the middle, go underneath, and pull that tag end through the loop. So just like that, and that'll pull any size log as long as your rope is strong enough. And again, your loop is gonna go on your haul stick. Just like that. All right, so we have our 2 hitches on the log we're pulling. I put the loop around the haul stick, and all you do is, and you're gonna drive it into the ground on an angle with the line tight, and then pull it. Looks just like this. So normally at this stage, I would just take the log and go all the way around and chop off all these twigs and knots or anything like that. Usually I'll use my hatchet for this, but Hunter broke the hatchet, so now I'm gonna have to baton.
Sorry. Hey, you. Back up. Back up, Dad. Stand back! That is one of the second things I've seen that long. Give me a sec, Dad.
Nice. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. That's the whole process from cutting the tree down to tacking it on the log cabin. Next time we come out, I'm going to level off that log I showed you, and then we'll be ready for the log that goes in between the 2 pass logs.
If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to Cboutdoors and More.